we go. Right, let's sit back on our mats or wherever it is that you're doing it. You might just be on the carpet, might still be in bed. I always think bed's quite a nice place to do yoga, to be fair. So if you want to stay in bed, stay in bed. And just sit nice and comfortably for me. Sitting up nice and tall though, alright? Don't slouch, push your shoulders away and lift your chest. So you're sitting in a really strong position, but in a position that you can sit in for a while. And just take a few nice deep breaths here. Let's get that body ready, get the mind ready. So let's have one hand on the side of the head, gently pull it down, stretching that neck, releasing all that tension there. Not that there should be a lot of tension after you've just woken up. And swing your head over and do the other side. Feel it all down the side of your neck, gently pulling. Lengthening the shoulder as well. And then stick your chin in your chest, both hands on the back of your head, and let the weight of both your arms pull down, stretching the back of the neck. And then let's circle the head round 3 times one way. And then we're going 3 times the other way. And sitting back up. Lovely. Alright then, let's stick those legs out nice and long, and we're going to slide down our legs and back up. Down your legs and back up to sitting nice and tall, going as far down as you can. It might be to your knees, to your shins, to your ankles, to your toes. You might be able to get further than your toes. However you're doing it, try not to take your head to your legs. I still want us sitting up as we come back, nice and tall. Let's go forward one more time and stay forward for me, holding wherever you can reach. Might be your toes, it might be your feet, your ankles. Try and keep your head up though, alright? Try not to bend your head forward just yet. We're going to warm up the back slowly. Forward bends can put a lot of pressure on that lower back, so we need to be careful with the forward bends. Warm up the rest of the trunk first. And sliding back. And let's put the foot on the inside of the thigh. Reach again to wherever it is you can reach. And let's go over and up. Over and up. So we're warming up the side of our trunk now. We're also getting that shoulder and the legs. Trying to get that bent knee as close to the floor as you can. And let's go over one more time and hold it down here. So both your hands are together. You feel a nice stretch in the side of your body. You can feel your hamstring stretching here, and you can feel your glute and IT band stretching with that wide knee. And coming back up to sitting nice and tall. And we're going to do exactly the same on the other side. So nice long leg here, reaching wherever you can, and this knee down as close to the floor. And we're going over and up. Over and up. Exactly the same as before, getting a nice movement in your trunk and in your shoulder. go over one more time and hold it down here with your hands together, wherever it is that they can reach. Feeling the stretch in the side of the body, in the back of your hamstring and in the side of your thigh. And let's come back up and bring both feet together, pushing your knees wide. Let's sit up nice and tall. Really good hip opener this one. And let's start to roll forward with your chin on your chest first. Roll forward, taking your forehead to your big toe. You might not be able to get very close at this point. You might still be a bit stiff from your sleep. That's absolutely fine. That's very normal. It's how you're meant to be. But every time you go forward, just try and get a little bit closer as you stretch those muscles along your spine. And come back up nice and tall. And let's stick those legs out nice and wide. So we're going to be doing quite a lot of this sort of movement today with the splits and things. We're going to be doing long splits and wide splits as well. Only if you want to, obviously. So let's wave from side to side and take a look at how wide you can get your legs, because we're going to do this position at the end, you see. And hopefully you'll be able to get your legs wider than they are now. That's the goal anyway. Nice and steady from side to side, warming up that trunk, warming up those shoulders, warming up those hamstrings. Last time, and back to the centre. Let's have those hands in front, sliding forwards and back, forwards and back, nice and steady. Trying to get a little bit further every single time. Let's do it one more time. And back. And bring your legs in. And let's have hands forward into your first table position. And we're going to do cat to cows. Going to warm up that spine a little bit more. So let's do cat first. Push your back up, head down, stretching the muscles along your spine. And let's do cow. So you're going to be looking up, pushing the belly down. You're stretching your core this time. Ahead of you. And let's do your cat, pushing up. And your cow, pushing down. Let's do one more time of each for your cat. And for your cow. And back to your table. And let's stick the legs out behind you. We're going to drop it down to chaturanga. Hold it just above if you can. And then push up into your up dog. So your feet are flat on the floor, getting a good stretch in your ankles. Your knees are on the floor. If you need to bend your elbows, that's fine, but try and keep them straight if you can. Try not to let your shoulders go into your ears, push them away. And let's pop those toes to the floor, lift the bum up and push back into downward dog. Feel the stretch in your hamstrings and in your calves. And when you're ready, you're going to start to pedal. Pushing the heel into the floor. Keep your toes on the floor as you do it, so you've got that nice centre. Those points of contact. Just pushing your heels down, getting a good stretch in your calves and in your Achilles. And then let's walk our feet forward and roll up nice and slow. With a big inhale up and an exhale down. Lovely. So let's do our salutation. Going to do it nice and slow, and then we're going to do it again afterwards a bit faster. So let's do a big inhale up and falling all the way down to the floor. Holding it wherever it is that you can reach, letting those arms hang, letting the head hang, letting it all be relaxed. And then we're going to come up for halfway lift. Nice straight legs, straight back. Imagine your body and your legs are in a right angle. So you're pushing your chest forward and your shoulders back, because we're not arching. We want a nice flat back. And fall back down to the floor. Holding it here, getting that good stretch in those hamstrings. And let's get those hands flat. Bend your knees if you need to. And you're either stepping or jumping back into your plank. Nice and strong here. We're going to drop it down to the floor, holding it just above if you can. And push up into up dog. And if you want to make your up dog a little bit harder, lift your knees off the floor. So your only points of contact are your feet and your hands. But if that's too much, put your legs down. Still getting a good stretch. Just take it up a level if you want to. And toes down, back into downward dog. And let's pedal. So your head is between your arms. You've got to imagine you're in a nice triangle. Arms and back are all in line, as are your legs. Take little turns, push your heel down. Feeling that stretch. Feeling those ankles mobilized and loosen. And let's walk forward towards those hands. And let's roll up nice and slow. With a big inhale at the top and an exhale down. Lovely. So we're going to do that again. We're going to go a little bit faster now that you know the moves. So let's do a nice big inhale up and falling all the way down to the floor, letting yourself hang. And lift to halfway lift with a nice flat back, feeling that stretch in the back of your legs. And fall back down to the floor. Let's get those hands flat, bend your knees if you need to. Jump or step your feet back into your plank. Let's lower down to chaturanga, hold it just above if you can. And push up into up dog. And again, if you can, lift your legs off the floor. You don't have to. And let's have those toes down. Push back into downward. And let's pedal. This is third downward dog now, so you should be finding your heels can get a lot closer to the floor than the first time you did it. As they get warmer, as they get more loose, you're going to be able to get them closer to the floor. And let's walk those feet in and roll up nice and slow. Big inhale up and exhale down. Lovely. Alright, so that body should be feeling nice and warm, nice and loose. So now we're going to put it through its paces and we're going to make some deep stretches, okay? Here we go. So we're going to do a nice big inhale to start with. And I want us to fall down back into our bent over pose. So each stretch we're going to be holding today, we're going to be holding for at least 30 seconds, alright? We're going to do slightly different things within that 30 seconds. Here we're going to be holding the stretches for a long time. So in this position, I want us to keep our legs where they are, but I want us to curl round to the side. So again, a bit of a twist in your trunk here, but trying to keep your heels straight. If you can't touch the floor, just pull on your leg. If you can, pull on the floor. Holding it here for a little bit. Getting a good twist in the side of the body. and walk those hands round to the other side. And again, it's exactly the same, getting a nice twist, pulling against your leg if you can't touch the floor, or if you prefer pulling against your leg, pull against your leg. It's completely up to you. Just get a nice twist. So we're not just stretching the hamstrings, we're stretching the outside muscles as well. And back to the centre. And I want you to put your hands on your legs, wherever it is that you can reach. And I want you to do it with bent elbows. And what we're going to do is you're going to come up to straight arms. So you're pulling against it, you're pulling against your arms, and then pull yourself in a little bit further. So we go to straight arms, pulling against it, and then pull yourself in. Straight and in. Straight and in. Let's do it one more time. Straight and in. Lovely. And you should feel a bit of a tingling down those hamstrings because we've been stretching them for a long time now. So let's get those hands on the floor and jump back into plank. Whoa. Tingling. And let's lower down to chaturanga and push up into up dog. So because we've just done a lot of forward bending, this position is really good after, because it's the opposite, and you always want to do opposites in yoga. If you do a lot of forward bending, you always want to do some backward bending as well. So don't worry, we'll definitely do some big back bends at the end. And let's go back to downward dog and pedal. We're not staying here for too long. There are other more important poses today, as much as I love a downward dog. Alright then, so from here you're going to bring your left foot forward in line with your left hand, pushing your hips down. So this is a really good position for when you're doing your splits, as you can imagine, because we're basically there anyway. So you're getting a good stretch all in the muscles down here and in your hip flexors there, so you're making them longer. We do the back bends to stretch the lower back as well, because you use your lower back a lot in the splits. So from here, hand closest to the foot goes up into the air, and make sure you're looking up at that top palm. Holding these positions for a long time this morning, so a lot of strength is involved as well as stretching. And then bring that hand down and switch it to the other side. And bring it back down. And from here, keep your hands on the floor and your knee up. I want us to bend our elbows forward and push up. So you're taking the chest to the floor as low as it will go and then pushing it back up. So it's a lot of strength involved. As you go down, you should feel a deeper stretch. Keeping it going nice and steady. Lowering the chest down, pushing it back up. One more time, lower it down and push it back up. And let's lower that back knee to the floor. Lovely. We're still not done in this stretch yet. So, as always, if you want to stay here, that's fine, but if you want to take it a little bit further, you go down onto those elbows into that lizard pose. Really stretching it out. Make sure that back leg behind you is nice and long. You can feel the stretch in your hip flexor, in your hamstring, in your glutes, everywhere. And then let's come back up, and that's enough for this position. So now we're going to go to something even more intense, and we're going to go to pigeon. So walk the foot across and the knee down. So when you're in pigeon position, the back leg needs to be nice and long, whereas this one is bent. That foot can be as close to your hips as you feel comfortable, and you're trying to push your hips down. Now, it's very tempting to be twisting like this, especially if you're quite tight. Try and turn your hips so that they're facing forwards. as much as you can, okay? So obviously you might not be able to do it as much as me, you might be better than me, it doesn't matter. It's all about what you can do today, and then when you do this video again, if you do this video again, trying to be better, that's all it is. So let's take those hands behind the back, bind your fingers and push your chest forward. Again, we're holding this position for a while, but we're going to do it in slightly different poses. So we're opening the chest on this one, and then bring those hands to your sides and lift them up. I'm really growing tall on this one, getting a deeper stretch in the hip flexor. And all the while, try and push your hips to the floor and feel that deep stretch. And release it down. Hands go forward, and I want us to try and get down onto our elbows. If you can get there, see if you can get your forehead to the floor. And then coming back up and lifting that knee. Come back to the centre. Lots of tingling in the side. Good work. Right, okay, so from here, I want us to have a good position. I want that front knee to be at a right angle and the back knee as well. And I want the hands on the back, on the small of your back, and I want you leaning forward into the stretch. Getting that hip flexor again. All of them getting the hip flexor. If you're like me and have slight hip flexor problems, this is going to be a very good video for you. And then I want you to put the opposite hand on the knee, and I want you to get a little twist going on. And back to the centre. And then keeping the feet where they are, I want you to straighten that front leg. So keep your toes on the floor, and this one is nice and straight. If this is enough for you, then stay here. Otherwise, let's go forward with those hands. If you can't quite reach, go on your fingertips. Try not to go on your leg, all right? Because you don't want to be pushing the knee further than it needs to go. We're trying to straighten it, but we don't want to go too far and damage it. So try and go on the floor if you can. You should feel this in your hamstring, which is the back of your leg. Giving the hip flexor a bit of a rest on this one. And if you can, as you hold it, try and get a little bit lower. Maybe take your hands a bit further forward. Always trying to push a bit more. And coming back up. And let's pop those hands forward and our knee back into our table. Feet back into plank. We're doing all of that on the other side. So let's lower down to chaturanga. Push up into up dog. And then push back into down dog and pedal. So those legs both should be feeling quite different at this point. We've done some big stretches, but we've only done half of the body. So they should feel a little bit weird because they feel so different. So we did the left foot forward last time. So let's bring the right foot forward in line with that right hand. And remember, we're pushing those hips down, stretching the hip flexor out behind us. Really getting the glute and the hip on this side. And hand closest to the foot, up into the air, getting a little twist. And bringing it back down, and doing the same on the other side. Pushing those hips down all the time. And bring it back down. And let's just hold it for a little bit longer. You've got those hands on the floor. So what we're going to do is we're going to bend the elbows and take the chest to the floor. Nice and slowly, trying to get a little bit lower every time. Now you might find that you're a lot better on one side than the other. I'm a lot better on my other side, which is why I like to do that side first. But it's really good to do both sides, because we've got to try and make them even. Let's do it one more time, going down and back up. And let's lower that back knee to the floor. And from here, if you want to stay here, that's great. Otherwise, go down onto your elbows. So again, I'm much better on the other side. On the other side, my elbows are both down completely on the floor. They are on this side, but this elbow keeps wanting to come up because I've got slight issues in this IT band. So I find it harder to get myself down. But we do it every day to try and make ourselves better. And coming back up. And let's walk that foot over to the other side. All the way, because we're doing a pigeon pose. So I'm putting that knee to the floor. So the leg behind you is out nice and long. This foot is bent and as close to the hip as you feel comfortable. And you're trying to push your hips down to the floor. And remember what I said, try not to have them twisted. Try and turn your hips so they're at the front, facing forward. As far forward as you can, all right? Yoga is very personal. And someone's pigeon is never going to be the same as everybody else's. So let's take those hands behind the back, bind the fingers, and lift the arms up, stretching the chest. Pushing it forward, really feeling those stretches, and all the time trying to push those hips down closer to the floor. As you hold these positions, your body will get used to it and you'll be able to push a bit further. Let release, and let's lift those hands up into the air. Really growing tall as you do this. And release it down, and your hands go forward. And if this is enough, stay here, but if you want to, go onto your elbows, and if you want to take it further, take your forehead to the floor. Coming back up, lifting that knee and taking yourself back up to here. And we're going to lean forward, stretching that hip flexor again. Side of my glute always gets really tingly after pigeon. And from here we're going to cross over the body. Get a nice twist, looking over our back shoulder. And back to the centre. And let's straighten that front leg. So you can feel the stretch in your hamstring. Keep your toes on the floor. If it's enough, stay here. Otherwise, go forward onto those hands. And again, see if you can edge yourself forward, fingertips at first, ease into the stretch, and then maybe go down onto your knuckles, get a little bit further, and then see if you can go down onto your hands, and then little by little, just take those hands forward until you get to that point where you can't go any further. Big stretches today. You might actually get some ache in your legs after this because you pushed your muscles a bit further than they used to. And coming back up, lovely. So now we're actually going to try and attempt to do some splits. So we're already sort of in position. So what I want you to do is slide the front foot forward and the back one back and try and get yourself down into your splits. Have your hands on the floor for support, okay? Probably looks a lot more impressive than it actually is. I've got probably half a foot before I'm actually flat on the floor, which is better than I thought I'd be actually. And feel the stretch, just holding it here for a little bit. Trying to make sure both of your legs are as straight as you can. And then we're going to turn it so you're in your side splits. And then turn it again so you're doing your splits the other way. You can see a bit better now. I'm not actually that close. Hold it here, feel the stretch. And then come back into the middle, bringing those legs in. And let's do some nice child pose to relax. So your knees are wide, sit back into your feet. Slide your hands forward and take your forehead to the floor. And just breathe here. That was very intense this morning. Big stretches all in those muscles. You might find you get some ache in your hamstrings, maybe in your hips or so, because we probably push them a lot further than they're used to. And that's all it is, muscle ache. It's just those muscles doing something they're not maybe used to yet. Alright, let's come out of our child's pose. Hands on the floor, feet back into plank, and let's lower it all the way down. Roll over onto our back. And let's do our happy baby pose. So legs up, holding the outside of your foot with your knees bent, and just rocking from side to side. Nice and steady, massaging that lower back. So like I said at the beginning, all those stretches are going to really help with doing the split. So if that is something you'd quite like to do, definitely redo this video. I have filmed it, so I'm going to put it on the YouTube so that you guys can do it again if you want to. If you're not that interested in doing the splits, but you quite liked stretching out your hamstrings and your hips and stuff, again, it's a fantastic video for that. And release your legs and let them go nice and long, and then bring one knee in and sending it across your body, looking the opposite way. It's my favourite stretch, this one. Full body stretch, feeling it all across your trunk, in your leg, in your shoulder as you push that away. And try and push that stretch a little bit more. You always sort of want to get to your comfort zone and then just go an inch more, because then soon that will become your comfort zone. And let's go back to the centre and do the same on the other side. Leg in, sending it across, looking the opposite way, getting that nice twist. And then back to the centre. And lay flat on your back for me, hands at your sides, palms facing up. Take some nice deep breaths, relaxing your body. And I want you to imagine a wave is flowing up your body. And as it does, all your muscles it touches relax. Nice deep breaths, letting the body sink into your mat.